Hi, and welcome. It is great to be here with the IT professionals that are attending Cisco Connect. This is truly one of our favorite types of events because it's a chance for us to connect with IT professionals around the world. And one of the topics that most frequently comes up when we connect with people like yourself is about the journey to the multi-cloud. And how do you provide the best experience for your businesses while doing it reliably and securely and making it available? And that's what we want to talk to you today about, because we know that as you go to this journey to the multiple clouds, like it can be tough. You have applications now everywhere in SaaS and IaaS and the colo, but you're expected to provide a common experience across all of these, to provide governance, simplicity, agility, speed, performance. This is a lot to ask of your teams. And so what we at Cisco, what we're really striving to do is to make this simpler by providing consistency across these disparate environments, by making it similar to connect to AWS as it is to Azure, and leveraging the power of automation and insights to make that happen, to provide you better experiences and better outcomes, and to make it simple to deploy, simple to administer, and simple to maintain. And this is really what we're focused on. And we're excited to have some new news around these kind of innovations around how we help you securely connect to the multi-cloud. The first one we're going to talk today about is about how do we automate the secure edge? How do you take an internet connection and from the branch and automate the connection into a cloud security provider like Cisco Umbrella? The second thing we're going to talk about is how do we make it easy to connect to the cloud providers? And what are some of the new enhancements we've done to enable you to have an on-ramp into AWS or Azure or Google Cloud? And the third thing we're going to talk about is once you have all this built and once you have it all connected and interworking, how do we make it easy for you to maintain it and to observe it and to watch it? And so those are the three topics we're going to cover today. But I want to talk first about how the automation and the secure edge comes together. And for a lot of you, this means you have to work across teams. You have a NetOps team and a SecOps team. And of course, sometimes that's challenging, sometimes it goes great. And I want to roll a small video about this and that just talks about this experience. So can we roll the video?
Why don't you pretend that this puppet here is Rob?
What?
And act out some of the ways that Rob acts, the things that he does that bother you.
Oh my God. Oh, gladly.
Hi, I'm Rob. I'm a networking person, so I don't understand anything about security. Oh, want me to open up all the ports for you, Mr. Hacker? No problem. Here's all that sensitive information you just asked for. Compliance? What's that? I'm just the plumber around here. I don't care what's in the pipes, as long as they're flowing. You a security person who wants to secure my network? Tell you what, why don't you write up a paper with all of your proposals in it, and I'll schedule us a meeting for the 35th of never. Whoops, time for my coffee break. See you in a few hours.
Let's have you speak to us in his voice.
Yeah.
Using the puppet.
Yes. Blurg! I'm the security expert. Do we even need the internet? All it does is attract a bunch of hackers. I say that we close down all the ports and keep everyone out. Oh, you don't like that plan? Well, I'm just gonna go over your head to your boss and give him a bunch of spooky tales about hackers and malware. Hey, you know what? I say that we slow down that network traffic way, way, way down. Budgets? Infrastructure? What are these things? I've never heard these words before. Oh, something broke. I'd love to help you fix it, but my band's got a gig tonight, so I gotta go home and tune my bass and shave hashtags into my beard.
Wow, hopefully none of you have to go through that and go to therapy to get your SD-WAN connection working with your cloud security provider. We at Cisco, we're committed to making that super simple for the two teams to work together. Simple to procure, simple to deploy, simple to monitor and maintain. We do this by taking our best-in-class Cisco SD-WAN with our best-in-class cloud security Cisco Umbrella and bringing them together in a single SASE-based architecture. And we're pleased to announce new enhancements to that architecture, particularly around deployment and proactive monitoring. On the deployment side, we've made it automated to connect Cisco SD-WAN with Cisco Umbrella, so you can simplify the provision and the day zero connections between those two systems. And then we made it simple to deploy with things like solution level routing and load balancing. We've also enhanced the ability to monitor these connections by allowing you to actually watch the user experience from an application level as well as a solution level, so you can better get the best outcome for your end users as they go to deploy this and as they go to consume new SaaS applications or new IaaS applications. The second big thing we've done around this is we've actually come out with a whole new series of Catalyst 8K devices. These are new routers that are optimized and purpose-built for cloud scale SD-WAN, meaning that they can handle the new higher bandwidths that are coming into these devices, but they can also provide next generation services like security directly on the box that you can use in combination with cloud-based security. Really, really powerful solutions. And when we talk to our customers, they reflect this back to us. Lot, who's a great customer of Cisco, they recently did an SD-WAN project. And I love the quote here. They improved their bandwidth by more than 3 times, but they did it and still got a cost reduction of more than 50%. And why this is so important, why it's so critical to get this bandwidth increase, is that as you adopt more cloud capabilities into your enterprise, you're going to, of course, stress the WAN connection. And most people don't have more money to spend on more WAN bandwidth. This is one of the highest costs of most businesses from an IT point of view. So the fact that you could provide 3 times the bandwidth at 50% of the cost is a great ROI, but also makes the user experience exceptional. And that's what's super exciting. Now let's move into the second set of innovations, which is really about how do we connect a Cisco SD-WAN fabric into the cloud. And we have 3 different ways we're going to talk about today about we've enhanced that connection capability. Number 1 is around how you take a site and connect it to the cloud into an IaaS provider, people like AWS or Azure or Google Cloud. Number 2 is really about how do you connect across different sites and make it easy to use that cloud infrastructure to interconnect different sites. The number 3 is once you have all these cloud pieces and you have all these different sites and you have colos and everything else, how do you integrate across them? How do you interconnect across them in a dynamic way? And how do you do all this leveraging a single pane of glass, a single SD-WAN controller in Cisco vManage? So let's talk about the first one, site to cloud. We have been partnered with Amazon since the beginning, and we've been interconnecting Cisco SD-WAN into their fabric for many, many years. But like anything else, we're always working on improving it, working on making it better. And one of the things I'm excited to talk about today is we've actually enhanced the interconnections into AWS's Transit Gateway and gone from just a pure IPsec connection to a GRE-based connection. And why this matters to you as an IT professional is now you can get 4x the bandwidth into that connection. You can also get dramatically increased BGP route scale, and with some other enhancements we've done, you can actually have private IP addressing now, which really improves your overall security posture. But we also know you need to maintain this interconnection. And so that's why we've worked with AWS to bridge the connection between AWS Transit Gateway Network Manager and vManage for observability. What this allows you to do is understand from vManage what the relative health of your connection is in the AWS Transit Gateway. And that's super important as you're trying to maintain this and troubleshoot this over time. You know, different things are going to happen. How do you know what's going on in real time and be able to troubleshoot it when there is an incident? The second big thing we've done is we've partnered with Google Cloud to extend this automation of how you connect the SD-WAN fabric into Google Cloud in a seamless fashion as well, making it super simple to connect to Google Cloud now, just like we had done with AWS, just like we've done with Azure. So you have one methodology to connect across any major of the cloud providers. But we didn't stop there with Google Cloud. We took the innovation even a step further. As many of you might or might not know, Google maintains one of the best internet backbones in the entire world, entire globe. It is massive, it's super high performing, and now you as a Cisco SD-WAN customer, you can take advantage of that. You can actually leverage that backbone as your own. And we do that through vManage again, and through a simple set of series of clicks, you can actually now send your traffic across the Google Cloud from one site to another site. Really important if, say, you have a site in South Korea and you're rolling your own SD-WAN fabric and you need to interconnect to the US. Now you can do that. Or if you're a small scale MSP and maybe you don't have a global backbone, now's a way for you to get one and to leverage Google's cloud to have that. really important innovation. The other big thing we've done, though, is we've also recognized that once you have all these cloud infrastructures, you need to interconnect them sometimes. But the way it's classically done was a very manual, tedious process that sometimes took weeks, if not months, to interconnect. Well, we've partnered with a company called Megaport to make this match your cloud infrastructure, to make this connection dynamic, so that on demand, you can interconnect an IaaS provider to another IaaS provider, or connect a site to a SaaS provider and have bandwidth on demand to facilitate whatever business needs you might have. Maybe it's a backup. Maybe it's something else, like you're trying to transfer large files between two IaaS providers. Now we can help you do that on demand. But rather than keep talking about that, I think this is a great time to show you. And so can we please roll the demo?
First demonstration is about site to site. So we will connect Los Angeles branch with Sydney office via Megaport backbone. I will create a link between LA and Sydney in less than 5 minutes. I will reduce the latency from 560 milliseconds over public internet to 200 milliseconds. I will use Thousand Eyes to show real-time results. Let us have a look at vManage first. I already have two virtual routers in Sydney and LA running, and now I will switch to connectivity management and create the link between US West and Sydney. So all what I need to do is to enter the name, then specify the remote end, and last but not least, provide the bandwidth. So I will create 100 megabit link between LA and Sydney. That's it. Once I click save, vManage will go ahead and create the link. On the Sydney side, I do have a web-based application, web server, and on the LA side, I will use Thousand Eyes agent to send traffic to this web server. Right now, my traffic is running over public internet, and you see 560 millisecond latency between LA and Sydney. That's the IP address of the web server in Sydney. And later on, my main goal will be to show you improvement if we go via Megaport backbone. Okay, the link creation is successful. Let's check the time. The whole step took us 1 minute and 13 seconds. But that's not all. What you see now is vManage detects the new link and automatically pushes down the configuration for two virtual routers, one in Sydney Megaport facility and second for LA. So there's no need for the user to go and provision the link. vManage will see it and automatically provision both routers. So just to summarize, now we have the link between LA and Sydney up and running, and both routers are already configured to use it. The last step I want to show you is the policy activation. I already have a policy pre-configured which will do intelligent traffic steering and switch the traffic to this web-based application, to my web server, from public internet to Megaport. That's it. So now, once the policy is activated, and that was really quick, a few seconds, we can go to Thousand Eyes and verify it. But we are done with all our configuration steps. What you see now in red is the huge delay over public internet. We are talking about 560 milliseconds if we go over public internet. My Thousand Eyes agent in LA is doing page load test. So it goes every minute from LA via Sd-Wan network to Sydney and shows me the latency and additional information. So now let's zoom into the latest statistics, and what you see here is actually before and after comparison. This is exactly what I want to show you. Before we had 560 milliseconds over public internet, and now we go via Megaport backbone, and you don't see any red items here. We are all green because we are at 200 milliseconds over Megaport. All right, now let's move on to the second demo, and this is site to cloud with Google. In this demonstration, our LA users will access an application which is based in GCP in Sydney. My main goal is to show you how easy it is to map workloads on GCP with Sd-Wan networks. You see that I have AWS, Azure, and GCP already configured. And now I want to go to intent mapping the mapping between cloud infrastructure and SD-WAN. So that table, that's the key of the whole demonstration. You see here on one side my cloud infrastructure, GCP Sydney application, and my SD-WAN networks, VPN 10. With one simple click, I create the connectivity between this GCP app in Sydney and my SD-WAN networks. So right now, you see that we actually black hole. There's no connection from LA users to the GCP-based application. So the mapping is done. Total time, exactly 1 minute. And last step is to return to Thousand Eyes and demonstrate that we do have full connectivity between LA users and GCP Sydney with 180 milliseconds.
All right, that was awesome. That's really powerful stuff there. And like we've been talking about this whole session, what you're really dealing with is this world has changed. No longer are you just trying to connect the branch office to a data center and assure the outcome across classical apps. Now, as an enterprise IT shop, your new reality is that you have these applications everywhere. You have them still in your private data center, but now you're leveraging the internet to connect directly to things like Workday or Office 365 or AWS. And you as an IT administrator, you're responsible for the health of that connection. And that can be very daunting given most of this lives outside of your enterprise. And it's outside of your control. So Cisco acquired Thousand Eyes with the intent to give you back that control, to give you back that visibility. You can put agents now all over this infrastructure, some of which we maintain, some of which you can deploy yourself into your own network infrastructure or onto your end user devices. And this lights everything up, allowing you to troubleshoot this in ways you never could before. And if you think about that, that's really critical, because when there is an issue, it could be any one of a number of things. It could be the network path. It could be a DNS server that perhaps has failed you are using. It could be that the local LAN connection that the user is using at home is having poor performance. And now you have the ability to look across a moment in time and see every attribute correlated for you and understand in real time or in retrospect why a particular user had a bad experience and what you can do to potentially address that. Say there's a peering issue in Singapore and there's a particular provider I need to go talk to improve that. Now you have the information that you can take to that conversation and go get it fixed permanently for your organization. Historically, this would have been almost impossible to do. And what I'm excited to announce is we're making it simpler to do this. We're making it simpler to drive that visibility as close to the user as possible by having the ability to put agents across all of network infrastructure you buy from Cisco. Starting with the Catalyst 9K switching, going on to the Catalyst 8K routing platforms that we just talked about earlier, the integrated services routers, as well as our Nexus data center switching, have the ability to host an agent, and we're making it super simple to deploy it everywhere you have a Cisco networking device. This is really powerful. It gives you the ability to see deep into your network and get an end-to-end view of everything that's affecting the user's experience and what's going on from an application point of view, and visualize it both inside your network, but also out to your extended enterprise into the cloud. Really cool stuff. And I just want to wrap by kind of recapping what we just talked about. We are investing in how we automate the secure edge. How do we make it super simple to connect Cisco SD-WAN fabrics to Cisco Cloud Security, Cisco umbrella? We're making it normalized and we're making it consistent to connect to any cloud. And we're bringing new capabilities so that you can actually extend your SD-WAN fabric across things like Google's Cloud as well as Megaport. And last but certainly not least, we're making it easy for you to troubleshoot and maintain this so that at any given time, if there is an issue, you can quickly pinpoint where it is and why it happened. So thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your Cisco Connect, and we really appreciate you spending the time with us today.